Rolando Taro as our first senior advocate. I'm also an attorney in Nigeria, and I know what it takes, even here. But Rolando Taro is receiving this award, Rolando Taro's son is receiving this award today, not because, of course, he has it. He's a senior advocate. He's a senior lawyer, a lawyer that has attained the peak of his career and is still working. But he uses his position as an advocate to advocate for people who don't have the resources. But what is unique about him is that he uses his resources to help people. I was looking at the write-up on the magazine. One thing that just jumped out on me is that lawyers who are just being called to bar in Nigeria, Britain, Canada, we use wig and gown. You know, that's stuff like a cap, and you have to wear your gown. He buys it for lawyers that are just being called, who just got admitted or who just got their license. He gives out scholarship to less privileged people, and he has provided amenities for various communities. My learned senior, Rolando Taro, SCN, thank you for your service. We want to use this award to motivate you, to encourage you to serve more. God bless you, sir.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I must say that I'm really, really overwhelmed by this award. And I thank the Africa Legacy Award for this honor. And I pledge that we continue to support Africa Legacy Awards within our limited and unlimited resources, depending on the one that comes first. And again, I must commend Mrs. Stella Ejedawe for her stellar qualities. This is a very clear example where you are giving a name to your child, you have to pray to God. Her name is Stella, and indeed, she has stellar qualities. I called her and said, Stella, you are indeed a daughter of Africa. You are indeed a proud daughter of Nigeria, and nay, a distinguished daughter of Afemaland. We thank you. We thank you. And when you check her pedigree is awesome. I was privileged to read about her in this day newspaper, sometimes last month. This is a girl, very young girl. She was in New York. She was brought home by her father, who was an ambassador to the United Nations, and she was able to blaze the trail in her community school way back in Uzari, in Afemaland. And today, you are here in the City of Angels. We are very proud of you. This honor that you have bestowed on us, I pray that God will continue to uphold you. God will continue to guide and protect you in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus. Amen. Once again, I thank you, Africa Legacy Awards, for this honor, and I will not disappoint you. I will continue to support this award by the special grace of God. Thank you.
The next award, we're going to give it with a little bit of music, because I did say in the beginning that we had the harp player. He played for kings and he plays for queens. He had played for the queen and he will play for the king. So, but before he comes up, because when he's done, I'm going to call on someone who worked very hard with me, because I cannot take all the credit. I have people who are dedicated behind me, pointing out the people to nominate for this award and letting me know how much they've done. That way, the award process will not be narrow-minded or something that only has to do with whom I think is befitting, of getting an award. We're going to start the process from next year a little bit early. So if you have people in mind or people you want to suggest, you can go on our website, www.africanlegacyawards.com. You can nominate someone for next year's award. It's open now. And I will be having Mr. Sonny Bry, who has worked diligently with me on this program, on the selection and putting everything together. He will present the next award to the king of this ceremony, Chief Mike Azahume himself. But before he gets up, we are going to play the music for kings. On that note, I'm going to call upon Sonny Bry. Sonny Bry is a barrister here, and he is going to introduce an awesome man. He's a chief, he's a doctor, he has more titles than I can remember to mention. He has more letters after his name. I don't think I've ever seen that level of accomplishment. Not just that alone, he has a heart of gold. So that's why we have named him our king for the night. Sonny Bry, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sonny Bry. Like Mr. Ejedawe just told you all, I am an attorney from Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was very honored and highly privileged to be here, and I think it's a very big honor and multiple privilege for me to be accorded this opportunity to introduce the next awardee. I think I know Michael Zekome for over a decade now, but prior to that, I've been reading about him. I always knew that there's something very unique and important about him, but I wasn't really sure what that is. Until one day I read something about him. They call him the senior advocate of the masses. I said, wow, the senior advocate of the masses? I thought the senior advocates of Nigeria. And like my predecessor said earlier, SAN stands for Senior Advocate of Nigeria. But before the SAN, my learned colleague asked SAM. He was made a chief, not by his own community, but by the entire chiefs in Edo State. He is the one and only Akpakpa Biggie Biggie. The chief of chiefs. And like Stella said, He has a lot of letters after his name. I can't just go. If I want to start telling you about the FAN, BBC, ABD, we'll be here all night. So my friend, my brother, congratulations, and we wish you more success, and we pray and hope that you will do more for not only the FMI people, but for the Nigerian, Africa, and humanity like you've always done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sonny Brai. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow awardees, I want to welcome you all to this wonderful occasion, the day that the Lord has indeed made. And we are glad and we rejoice in it. When Stella Ejedawe called me about 4 months ago and said there was going to be an award for me, the African Legacy Award, I thanked her in anticipation of it, but with all humility, referred her to my wife, my joy of inestimable value. Because at that time, the national conference had already started. And believe you me, I was so passionate about the outcome of the conference to make sure it succeeded that I thought that awards were secondary. So I told her, I gave her my wife's number, and I said, can you link up with her? Whatever you come out with, I will be very glad. I want to tell you, by way of confession, that I am seeing the program for the first time right on that table. I am seeing the title of the award itself for the first time right on that table. But I want to thank you, Stella Ejedawe, a great woman who herself is an inspiration to the younger generation of women. She's a true daughter of Afema land. It takes very few people to be able to originate something that is endearing and enduring. Some of the benefits, some of the things we are enjoying in America today, including people from our villages back home in Nigeria coming here, like Stella Ejedawe, to be able to hold our own in a community, is a process started long ago by a great woman like Rosa Parks. That is why we have the common cliche that in that bus experience at Montgomery in Alabama, Rosa Parks sat so that Martin Luther King Jr. could walk. Martin Luther King Jr. walked so that Obama could run. Obama ran so that our children will fly. Some years ago, it would have been unthinkable. It would have been unimaginable. But it is due to people like Stella Ejedawe, who, like Nostradamus, the man who saw tomorrow, can periscope into the future and decide that we should have legacy award, not based on politics, not based on gender, not based on your opportunities of birth, but based on what the board considers to be your concrete achievements. If it were based on wealth, I tell you I will not be standing here before you, because my parents were poor local farmers. And one of those who was born without any spoon in my mouth, not even a wooden spoon. So So if I can stand before you today to receive this kind of award, it is simply because God decided to pave the way, and by your dint of hard work and courage, because courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to wade on in spite of fear. I therefore want to advise all the young people here tonight, those who are younger than me, that you can also conquer. You can make it. Yes, we can. Like Obama once predicted. I therefore want to dedicate the award to the poor people of Nigeria, whether they live in Nigeria, whether they live in the diaspora, those Franz Fanon's wretched of the earth, the repressed, the oppressed, the subjugated people, the voiceless, the marginalized, the vanquished, the denied, those who have no one to fight for them. These are the people I dedicate this award to, and because these are the people I've fought for all my life. As I receive this award, I want to thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank you. A huge round of applause for our chief. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. He told you about his trip to get here. So I am really humbled by the efforts made by people to attend this awards event. And I really, truly appreciate it. And also now, we're going to try and move it along so we can have some dance time. I love to dance. And I have the honor to introduce the next award recipient. We already played the special music for her. She's our Queen of the Day, Her Excellency Habiba Abubakar. She also went through a very rigorous trip to get here, and I am honored and humbled having her here. I'm going to have Sonny Bry introduce her, and then we will let her have a few words. She's a very, very special woman. She has a heart of gold, and she is doing so much to help our people, to help the poor, to help the elderly. So Sonny Bry will say, I think he already said something about himself, so he may say a little bit more about Her Excellency, and Her Excellency herself has something very special to announce today.
Thank you. Thank you again. My name is Sonny Bry. I think it's just a double privilege to be, doing this back to back. I have the honor and privilege to welcome our sister, friend, a philanthropist, a humanitarian, somebody like Stella just said, that has committed a lot of our resources to helping the underprivileged, the Fanon, wretched of the earth, like my honorable barrister and son just mentioned. Aja Abiba is one of those people that has done more than I can even describe. I have words, but I think those words are not descriptive enough to portray what she's done, how she has used her resources singularly to help, to nourish, and to put food, opportunity, etc., to helping people that are very, very underprivileged. Aja, do you want to come over? In order not to probably go on and on, you probably have the opportunity to read her profile in the program. The profile probably speaks somewhat to what she's done. She's done a lot, and if I want to, I'll probably just be reading all through, but I don't want to do that. So what we'll be doing is I will let her speak briefly about herself and do what she can do. And she, like Stella said again, she's got something very important that she wants to announce. Even if that is all she even says, I think it's a privilege for us to be part of that here tonight.
Good evening. Thank you so much to Stella for all this and everybody that is able to come and attend this function. I'm doing this, my NGO, not because I expect anything from anywhere, but it's an honor to be called by somebody you don't know, you've never met, to say they've read what you've done or what you are doing, and they would like to honor you. I've gone through a lot this week. Robbers went to my house. My mom is sick, but I still was determined to come here. I drove 8 hours from Bauchi to get to Abuja, only to catch my flight to come here. I'm grateful that I'm here. I stand here before all of you to announce that because there are so many problems we have in Nigeria, there are so many less privileged, that the girls that cannot go to school because they cannot afford it. And we have seen what happened in the Boko Haram side of Maiduguri. The Chibok children, most of them are no more in school. I would like to donate a plot of land of 5 hectares that are about 250 million with this association, African Legacy Award, so that we make a school. So that we make a school that we will help the less privileged and those children that have left their schools because they are scared to go back. I was able to go to Maiduguri to speak to some of the girls that left, the Chibok school girls that left their schools and who are not ready to go back there. I'm sure they would get married at 13 years or at 16 years like I did, because I got married when I was 16. I was given out to marriage when I was 16, actually. And I married a friend of my father, who is my father's age mate. His daughter was my classmate. He happens to be my very good friend and my big supporter of my NGO. So thank you, everybody, and thank you very much.
I hope you heard her words. Please, a huge round of applause. She is a lady of few words. Because sometimes, we have to look for the unsung hero. We have to look for the unsung hero. This Bring Back Our Girls campaign, many people have gotten up for it. But Her Highness has said here that she is donating 5 hectares of land that she got for 250 million naira to build a school. She is working with African Legacy Awards to build a school for young girls who are in the same situation that those girls who were kidnapped. Please, a standing round of applause. That is awesome. And we will work very hard to fulfill her dreams. Thank you very much. Thank you. You have our fullest support. Thank you. So now we're going to move it along, and I would like to call on the next award recipient. I know I said it's not about your father helping you get into where you are, blah, blah, blah. But Not every child follows in the father's footsteps or listens to the parent. But I have the pleasure to call upon Dr. Farouk Dako to present the next award to his dad, also a doctor. Please, Dr. Farouk. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how your father has inspired you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Farouk Dako. I'm the third child of Dr. Dako and Mrs. Dako over there. I'm a physician myself, practicing in the U.S. My father is a physician in Nigeria. I probably went into medicine because I looked up to him growing up. I used to follow him to work. I saw the good work he did. I saw how happy he made people be. And I just figured, you know, if I lived life exactly like that, that I would find the same kind of happiness that he found doing the same things that he did. So that's how I got into medicine in the first place. Just having a father like mine makes me feel like I have to do better, you know. My father came from humble beginnings. He was the son of a hunter. He had nothing. He got scholarships throughout his education. So, you know, being a physician, people think, oh, you know, you should be proud of yourself. But I think about where my father came from, and I feel like I have to keep doing more. I feel like, you know, it's not enough to just get degrees anymore. You have to make an impact on life. Because growing up, you know, my father had little, but he gave more. You know, a lot of times, to the annoyance of the whole family, you know, he gave even when we didn't have enough, you know. So I just feel like, you know, the whole idea of community service starts with the people around you. You don't have to wait till you have an organization. You can help your brother, help your cousin. You can help the people, help your neighbors, and you know, the joy you get from that will make you keep going. You know, like was said by somebody early on. You know, you just have to get your feet wet. You just got to do something good for somebody. And you know, it just keeps going. You know, it's such a joyful feeling. I think that's enough about myself. So, like I said, my father is my inspiration. He's the reason why, you know, I do everything I do, and he's also lucky that he has a beautiful and supportive wife next to him over there, Miss Charity Dako. So, I think with that being said, Daddy, come get the award.
Good job. Okay, we'll have Dr. Dako give us a few words.
Good evening, everybody. As you are already aware, you can see from the brochure, my name is Dr. Dako Mamudu, from a very humble beginning. And I saw it all when I was growing up. And somewhere along the line, during my practice, I decided to go around the world and see what was going on. I realized that people in the rural communities were still passing through the stage I passed through when I was growing up. The schools are not well funded, no good teachers, dilapidated buildings, the health care services very poor. Even when you hear a nation talking of good health delivery in their system, go to the rural communities and see what is going on. It's horrible. And it's particularly bad in our country. I have visited a lot of the rural communities in Nigeria. I found out that most of the secondary schools barely have teachers. Some have one, some have two, some have three. The healthcare facilities are horrible. Some of them don't have a doctor. Some health facilities serve you up to 20,000. They have only one doctor who covers 24 hours. And of course, you know what happens. It's not possible to perform 24 hours. It's horrible. And I decided to set up a foundation, Dako Foundation for Rural Services and Education. We are building schools. Sometimes we do it solely, or we work with some communities to set up schools. We are building laboratories. We are setting up libraries, and we are seeking